this. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble?
Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Kind of look at this thing. I'm a little bit out of sync here. Oh, me. And why is this thing reversing my scenes on me? Alright, let me get over here and reset the thing. It should be on the panel, and that's not the screen I want to see. Alright. Let's see what we got. We got number 3. Let's try number 2. There you go. Get it back up here to the right size. Alrighty. Now you guys can see me. My bad hair after a bad haircut this week. I could have shot that guy. But anyway, that's what it is. It'll grow out. Alright, Mr. Farm Mechanic, how you doing? We got him over on Twitch. And let's go through the usual suspects here over here on YouTube. We got William S. Sullivan, Free Rail, Dave BNSF, Dave's Hobbies, how y'all doing? John Daly, Dwight, Michael Conley just popped in. Got Ari, Brian W. Hope everybody's doing well. Here comes Jason over on the panel. Anybody wants to come in on the panel, you're welcome to do so. Go back, just click on the panel link, and it'll bring you right on in here. I double dog dare some of y'all come on in.
It's easier than typing.
Yeah. Okay, I got one here. I'm not even going to try and pronounce this, but YRUN, AK ED4, says this is first time on the show. How you doing? Welcome in. Hope you enjoy.
Hello.
Andy just popped in and said he's camera shy. Yeah, right. Yeah. Let you guys know if you want, if you're not satisfied with the YouTube video, go to twitch.tv/Mall Railroading Live, and you'll be able to watch us there and chat, because we do have a chat room there on the Twitch also. But the video and audio, so far that what few people have gone there said it is a whole lot better.
It is better.
So all right, let you know we're getting close to the end of the month. Smile, Jason. Daggone. Jeez.
Sorry.
Look like somebody tried to slap you or something.
I've been fighting technical problems.
Hey, welcome to my world.
Yeah. Mic wasn't working or anything.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, next week on the 25th, we got Who's Big Bill talking to. That's at 9 o'clock Eastern time. He'll, we should be having Phil Wyman. That'll be a good show. Phil's always a good fellow to talk to. Everybody likes Phil.
Yeah.
And Possum Bayou. Hey, man. He just got in. Robert Hallman. Ha, 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 Robert. Robert Hallman just come in. He thinks he's being funny. He said my issues is the short between the chair and the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least my babies weren't hairy monkeys. I couldn't refuse that one, Robert. I was happened to see that post the other day. Oh. You got something to worry about when the nose hair is longer than the hair on your arm. Okay, I gotta quit this. But we got a good lineup on October. It's going to be a rather busy month. October the 2nd, we got Who's Big Bill talking to. He's going to be having Nick Massey of Imagine That Laser Art on. But, yeah, Robert come back. He's laughing. He says, yeah, right. That kid's half gorilla. Yeah. But anyway, let's see, October the 2nd was Who's Big Bill Talking To with Nick Massey. And then October the 9th, Bill's coming right back again, and he's going to have Lex Parker on. So that's two really good shows right there, 1 week right after the next. And then we'll have the Bill show on, now let me go over here and look. October the 8th, that'll be the Bill show with Andy and the crew. October the 16th will be Joe's Train Room. And so far, Bill's got 2 more Wednesdays left in October. He hasn't booked anything yet, but yeah, I'm not saying nothing. Hey, Michael, he just popped in, Dale PRR. I know John's probably having DTs. I haven't been over his house in 2 weeks now. Told him last time I was over, he didn't have his work schedule. Called me that weekend and let me know. I ain't heard hide nor hair from him. Guess I'll give him a call tomorrow. See if we can't get that main line finished, wiring it up. Let the train run all the way around.
I understand that. That's what I want to do.
He's got a lot of stuff with horn hook couplers and all. Plastic wheels. But he just got him 50 knuckle couplers, 100 wheels, metal wheels. So you can get 25 cars set up anyway. Horn hooks don't do bad at all as long as you're going forward, but you don't want to back a long train up like Andy says with horn hook couplers. They don't like that too much. They rather be pulled on than pushed on, especially when they're truck mounted. Otherwise, they're pretty decent coupler though. Even if they are uneven, they still stay hooked up a little better than the knuckle couplers, I think. So, what you guys out there in the chat doing? It's starting to cool down, hopefully a little bit. At least that's what they say. We're heading into fall. If you want to call it that, it's still 90 degrees a lot of places. So how's it coming along over there, Chris?
Well, we're making progress. We'll
Well,
have the
that's
pattern anyway for the main line and the fiddle yard up to the main line, which, like I was saying earlier, this whole peninsula, this big loop, will actually be a reversing loop. It'll be a double line reversing loop. The I'll start over here, then come up around and then make a Y here, either direction.
Yeah.
So I had some OSB laying around. I'm going to use this for a pattern. It's two different sizes. And then I'll go get a couple of pieces of plywood. And then once I have it done, I'll just lay them on there and cut it into less pieces, because this curve is 3 pieces, that curve is 4 pieces. The 2 end ones are good, but just make them less pieces than what they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but this is easy to work with because it cuts really fast.
Yeah.
So.
Good show. Good where'd you go, Possum? Man, these guys are talking tonight over here in the chat. They're just a ripping. Possum Bayou said he's laying track.
Hopefully by next week I'll be laying track.
Yeah, William Sullivan said he didn't have much, but he's getting ready for the Carolina Renaissance Fair in 2 weeks.
No, I think the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah, 3 Rail said he's changing out batteries in some old locos. So I take it you're running dead rail? Yeah, Michael said he's doing the same thing, switching out the plastic to metal wheels, new couplers, and a little bit of ballasting on the side. Joey said he's painting figures.
I've done that.
Hey, Ron from down under. He said he is doing the same, laying track finally. Yeah. Dave BNSF says he thinks he needs intervention. He just keeps buying boxcars and he doesn't need any more. Adrian's setting up turnouts. What kind of turnouts you doing, Adrian? They store-bought or you making them with fast tracks? Yeah, William Sullivan says he's got all 4 modules done and ready for track. Joel says he needs a reefer and wants to make a caboose. Why don't you just go ahead and make the reefer and the caboose? Agent said N-scale Pico electric for the short locomotives. Pico's pretty good turnouts too. When we were going down to the store, that's what we used on that layout down there was Picos. I never messed with taking the springs out of them. I always gave those to the owner of the store. Here, you do it. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to say, why run? I'm really rich, so I'm waiting for the price of trains to go up before I purchase some more. Shouldn't have to wait long, LOL. Hey Phil, how you doing? By the way, hopefully you're getting an email from Big Bill on the show date. Hope that works out. He said, "Hi, all putting the old hobby area back together in the new house tonight and watching the show." Ari said Athearn is coming out with trains that coming out with a ton of reefers with sound. All right, Joe, we'll catch you later. He's got to head to bed. Well, Dwight, I tell you what, I'm not really sure because I have not been down there since last year, to be honest about it. I think it was last year's the last time I've been there. I got so busy with all this stuff that I didn't have time to go down there. I'll try to get down there one weekend. All right, Phil. I was waiting to hear that, so I know put it on the calendar for sure. Dwight, I'm not understanding that. Looking forward to your big night on YT next week. I'm a little confused on the YT. Or why there's a big night. Oh, he must be talking about Phil being on the show next week. Okay, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got it, guys. See what happens when I get my hair cut way too short.
The block comes out.
Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Yeah. We actually had dirty rice tonight for supper.
You might have to explain what that is to some of the Yankee type people.
Yeah, they can look it up. They got internet. I really wanted to put that andouille sausage in it, but my son can't handle that. So, yeah.
I love andouille sausage, but you know what? I can't eat it either.
So I had to leave that one out.
I end up using a pork and beef mix with mild seasoning.
Yeah.
Is what I end up using.
Robert, I'm afraid you're going to have to reword that one. We can't let it go. Yeah. Here he comes. Mr. Ralph, how you doing?
I'm just fine. How are you?
Oh, we're good. Oh, Ralph, have a word with your son.
With my son?
Yeah.
What do you want me to
Robert.
tell him?
Robert.
Oh, no. No. I started to talk to him the other night and he walked out on me, so.
Well, cut his allowance off. He'll be back. As my dad would say, he'll get hungry.
Yeah. Hey, guys. Michael. Phil. And how's Jason?
Oh, I'm doing all right.
You sure?
Yep.
Okay.
Just chilling out tonight. Not
Just
really
chilling,
doing,
eh?
Yeah, I'm not doing much. I have a block just glued down now that for my combine.
Oh. Your chalks?
My chalk for the where the head gets attached to.
Yep.
I put a block there to let it set on that, rest on that, so it's not moving up and down.
So you got the wheels off?
I'm not taking the wheels off on that. The front
okay.
wheels.
I thought you were.
I did the rear, but I couldn't get the front off because there's no way I can get them off without tearing it up even more.
Genius guy like you can't figure it out? Come on.
I could, but it's not overhanging the side of the car that much, so I'm just going to leave it alone.
Okay, that's cool.
Don't forget the wide load sign on each end of the car.
Yeah.
Robert said he had to use the laddie's room.
And I should be working on music to have on a CD for my trip on Sunday.
Oh. What's your trip on Sunday?
I am heading to Monticello, Illinois. Going to the Monticello Railway Museum for railroad days.
Okay, I was going to ask you what's going on there, but yes, you offered it, so I got it.
Yep, I got it. Gave it out. Yeah, it's usually a good event to go to. They'll have at least 3 trains running back and forth from to the museum to downtown, and they'll have
Cool.
stuff at downtown location and at the museum grounds.
That sounds good.
I found out about a month or so ago that they're going to have trick riding at one of the locations. They'll have a
Trick
ladies
riding.
that
Horse riding?
horse riding. Yep.
Okay.
I think there's going to be 2 ladies that will do it. So that'll be kind of neat to go see that too.
Yeah, interesting.
Then there should be at least a couple model train layouts.
Dave BNSF is asking, where in Illinois is Monticello?
It is in between Decatur, Illinois, and Champaign.
And
Yep.
the
Yes,
All
they
right.
do have the Wabash F unit still.
okay.
I was reading it.
Did you see who that's from? Are you naked for?
Huh. Yeah, I don't know who that would be. South Central? No, it's actually Central East.
I don't know why, but YouTube is really blurry tonight.
Yeah.
I'm showing a good stream.
So was a stop on the IT? Yes, it was.
Michael
I don't
Conley's is that this
Pretty
Sunday?
clear for me, John.
Huh?
It's pretty clear for me.
Is it? Okay.
And actually, they use a little bit of the IT line still, and they're using the Illinois Central line going all the way into Monticello.
Michael Conley's asking, is that this Sunday?
Saturday and Sunday.
This weekend?
Yeah, this weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
I won't be able to go Saturday because I got to work. Both. I got 2 different things I'm working. One is I got 2 soccer games I got to referee in the morning. And then I go to my actual paying job that pays on my health insurance.
Well,
So,
Important job.
yeah.
yeah, Dave said he's heading up to Wisconsin next week from Phoenix. Okay, Phil. Put your glasses back on. Did you hear that, Ralph?
No.
Phil's comment there.
Think it's blurry, bro. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I told him to put his glasses on.
Either that or just stick the white cane out the car window. The driver window.
Yeah.
And he'll say, "Don't tempt me. I've done that before."
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I even remember the stunt that he was wanting to do at the national show at Indy. You remember?
Uh,
Oh, shoot. Him dressing up as a baby.
oh,
Put him in a diaper.
yeah.
I'm waiting for it. I can't see if he's going to remark to it, but
Not yet.
I'm sure he'll have something to say about that one. All right, I'm still here, but I'm going to let you read the chat for a little bit there, Jason.
Okay. The only one I got up is the YouTube one.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I got up.
yeah, I mean, I'm still here. I'm on microphone, but yeah,
I'm here, but I'm not here.
yeah.
And then we have that guy from Kentucky just popped in. Who left the door open? My God.
Don't let anybody hang out around here.
All right, he responded. He responded. You're going to wait a long time, Jason.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Oh man.
No respect, Andy.
I'm telling you. I mean,
Your volume's kind of low, Andy.
oh,
Looks like he's had another long week.
it's been
Or a really
long,
bad day.
It's been a long month. I mean, year. No, it's been a long decade. Of course, if I'm only going to get 8 decades, give or take, on this earth, I want them to be long ones. So I got my wish, I think.
Right on.
Right. I'm right. What old men say, killing time before time kills me.
I hear you. Is that better, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Now Ralph can't talk over the top of you.
Yeah, he's got it to do anyway.
Well, that's debatable, John.
Says I'll take the challenge.
Then there's Robert. You can't scare me. I have a wife.
Yeah, that's all right.
I have a goddess.
All right, we got.
You also got a little something on your nose there.
She's not listening. Don't even try that here.
No, she's not. She's not even here. I have a 4-day weekend without anybody. It's just me and the dog.
Oh man.
Okay.
Lucky.
Hey, Dave, which way, where you got to go in Wisconsin? Because there's a couple different routes you can go.
Man, go through, was it Jamestown or whatever, and go to House on the Rocks. That's something to see.
House on what?
House on the Rocks, it's in Wisconsin.
Oh.
It's on just north of Illinois. I think like by an hour, maybe an hour and a half or whatever. I think it's Jamestown or whatever, but it's called House on the Rocks. It is something to see. Some billionaire guy traveled the world and he collected all of these antiques and stuff, and he built this house in, on, through, and around this column of rock. It's crazy, crazy house.
Who is this? What's his name?
I don't know, but you can look up House on the Rocks in Wisconsin. I'm sure there's Google pictures. I mean, there's one room where it's a giant music box. It's like the music box is 10 feet tall and 15 feet long. It's crazy. It's huge. It's a beautiful house. It's something to see.
Okay, it's Dave BNS N scale. And he says it's He's going north of Madison, Wisconsin.
Yeah, you'll be close to it.
Yeah. I would say probably take 55 when you get into Illinois. Take 55 up to up by Lincoln, and then you'll be cutting over to I forget what route that is. Trying to think.
Don't hurt yourself. Come on.
It's hard sometimes.
Which way are you coming from?
He's coming from Phoenix.
From Phoenix.
Take that back. No, you'll go
You'll be coming
55.
across Interstate 40, right? Somewhere in there, and then like in Memphis or whatever, you catch Interstate 57, and that'll cut you straight up to Illinois. If you take 55, it makes you go through St. Louis.
Yeah, you would have to go through St. Louis, but
if you want to see the arch, that's something to see too. You know, I mean, it's gonna make a trip out of it.
Thought he was coming from Arizona.
That's House on the Rock, Wisconsin, apparently. It is pretty neat, I guess.
Oh, it's something to see.
Yeah, it's neat. It's very cool.
I don't know.
Pretty neat. I'll take one.
Yeah.
That's some kind of Frank Lloyd Wright kind of stuff about it. Yeah, I'd take one.
Yeah, there's a balcony that is like a couple 100 foot overlook.
Probably his best bet is to go up to Kansas City.
City, come through Ohio, come across. You know, I mean, it all comes down, do you want to make a sightseeing trip out of it or not? Because, I mean, if you want to see the St. Louis Arch, that's a good time to see it. You know, if you want to swing through Chicago and see the big beam that they put in Millennium Park, it's something to see. The Sears Tower, it's something to see. You know, House on the Rock, something to see.
Then take 88 across until you get 39 and then head up towards Rockford that way. Probably that would be the best bet. And actually, Iowa is a pretty neat little stretch to see some sightseeing stuff too.
I'm a big fan of going around Iowa. Whatever that I've been through Iowa once before, and I'll just go around next time.
Sounds like somebody else I know that detours Rhode Island.
Did you get a...
There are states I just do not be in. In Iowa, no, I'll never be in Iowa again. I've been in 44. I've done some of them a lot. I like them. It's a complicated story in Iowa. I didn't have good luck in Iowa. I didn't enjoy my time there at all. I went to Wisconsin. I was in Wisconsin.
Everybody got arrested in Iowa.
But when I was, it was a friend of mine. I was young though back then, so that's another lifetime ago. I was going to Wisconsin. Now Wisconsin, where this house is, you guys are talking about or whatever too. Wisconsin's a spectacular state. I love Wisconsin. It's a beautiful state.
If you can, Andy, turn your volume down just a tad.
Okay.
Either that or don't yell.
It's like you're either wiped out from work or you're like, boom, going.
Well, that's a personality choice with me. I'm a bit of a rabbit.
Because actually, Iowa would probably go, if you go to Boone, Iowa, you'll get to see the Chinese steam engine. because I think they still have it there. But I think the Iowa Interstate took over that too. Engine, because they use it for publicities, marketing. Now,
Is that the only state that that state that railroad operate? I'm not trying to find a way to check that. Is that the only state? Because there's a couple. The guy who does the road models that railroad you're talking about.
yeah,
That's
it mostly, it mostly goes through Iowa, and it goes into northern Illinois too. I thought.
I'd never heard of it until I started following his, whatever YouTube stuff or whatever.
Because NS takes grain all the way up to I think the PP&W up to the Iowa Interstate interchange, and then come across Iowa with it.
All right, somebody had asked earlier, Ralph, let me get back over here, see if I can find it. They asked what you were doing, and let me see who that was real quick.
He's living the dream. He's living the dream.
Oh, that was 3 Rail. Want to know what you was working on?
I'm working on, where the hell is it? There we go. There's the shell anyway.
Yeah.
You ever seen one of those? A
What?
Kraus Map-Eye.
Yeah, it's a German design that they brought over here.
Yep. Southern Pacific and Rio Grande used them.
I didn't know the Rio Grande did. I've always seen them
Yep.
in the Bloody Nose schemes.
Yep. So I'm trying to convert it because it has pizza cutter wheels.
Yeah.
But as far as the drivers, I don't think I can change it. But I'm taking the what do they call them? The horn hook couplers off.
Yeah.
And replacing them.
River Rossies?
It is a River Rossi, yeah. So the one truck frame is got a busted corner, so I'm going to replace it.
What's the truck configuration? Can you buy, whatever somebody else's trucks that are similar? Another vendor.
No, these I don't think anybody makes these.
6 trucks?
Six wheels.
You'd have to get the spacing and the wheel size and stuff correct. Of course, you could cut those up and get the side frames off of them and apply them to something that's real close.
The problem is, and I'm only guessing that the motor is going to work, but putting the gears in, the wheel sets have the gears cut into them.
Yeah.
And then there's the smaller set of gears that go with it. And there's 3 of these, and 2 of the wheels.
Call it a pinion. Is that the pinion gear? I think that's where that is. Doesn't matter.
Well, one of them, the motor comes down 90 degrees.
Yeah, so it has so there's that little gear there. That's the pinion gear that baits that 90-degree transition of force. That's why those have always had such a problem. It'd about have to be. It's probably built really well, actually, if it's built into the axle. So you could, in theory, just buy wheels. Thank God Northwest Shortline's going to stay around. You could buy just the wheels, but if you just have to push them onto the axles, that way you can keep your axle and gear arrangement identical and just change the actual wheel.
Well, that's the beauty of using Code 100. I can run the pizza cutters.
Right, you could run about 83 too.
So, I mean, it's just one locomotive. Actually, I have 3 of them. Two of them are dummies.
Yeah, make a good consist. Well, you can throw wood into different consists too. I know I've seen pictures of them a few times, not a lot, not enough to know how they run them. But I think every time that I remember seeing them, there was just a single locomotive alone in the consist with other, with U-boats or something else.
Well, like I say, I have the Southern Pacific one, which I've already faded. It's ready for a weather job. And I'm considering changing the two Rio Grande ones to my Calgary Southern logo. So they'll either be black or red.
Is that a similar? Do you do a scheme? I've seen the black Calgary Southern that's NS-esque.
You haven't seen the red one?
I don't think I've seen a red scheme locomotive. I could be wrong. I normally have pretty good memory for this stuff.
Hang on.
I think I remember.
Let me just find one for you.
Sure.
There we go. There you go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I had not seen that. It's still with the NS speed stripes. I think is what they call them. Yeah, it's a good looking locomotive. Sure is.
Trying to find the one where you can read the lettering. There we go.
Be transportation, eh?
You got to remember, I'm Canadian, eh?
Well, obviously. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
So I finished off the NS that I was working on. I should take it out of here. It's all set to go in the mail tomorrow.
That's nice.
I still can't get over the fact the guy sent this to me after he just said I'm sending it to you. We didn't even discuss price. I'm sending it to you. And I said, don't you even want to know the price? He says, no. He says, we'll talk about it later. So he sent me a new scale train, SD40T-2 in an unopened box. So he didn't even know what it looked like right from scratch.
Those are the best kind of customers.
Well, but there's pictures on the internet. We get an idea of what they look like. But I would agree.
No,
they
no.
don't
I
look
mean,
live.
for his own benefit.
Sure.
Doesn't even know if it works.
It's new. Odds are it will. Of course, it's a little bit harder to return. If it doesn't, I suppose you can keep the shell regardless.
Scale trains will love it now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that basically nobody sells anything quote unquote commercially weathered. I would not prefer to have it done that way, I'm sure. But in scale, there's a lot of the microtrains cars that are quote unquote weathered.
Someone did, I think it was Athern, tried to sell weathered locomotives. Didn't work.
That's astonishing to me. I don't think they
So-
come to life at all until they're weathered.
So the best thing that they came up with that actually is selling is patched locomotives.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Or prime to grind.
What's prime to grind?
They got them faded in
Okay.
areas.
That'd be a better start. That'd be a better base.
Let's see here.
Bless you.
It's the sawdust.
Did you get much? Did you get much on you there, Chris?
No, I was doing it with a handsaw and the vacuum cleaner, so thought I was getting most of it. But
How you doing, Greg? He just put in the chat, Blackstone does engines and cars on weathering.
I'm looking up.
Because I watched two characters the other day on YouTube weathering a coal train. And what they ended up doing, they had two airbrushes going. And they stood there like this, one on either side of the train. And they drove the train past the airbrushes.
Yeah.
And they called that weathering.
That's called production weathering.
No, it's not even that.
No. Now you could make especially the N-scale where the detail's not as particular. You could some of the microtrade stuff actually look pretty decent because it's pad printed. You could make something from a photograph. It could be done, tested out well. They're okay, especially the N-scale. I don't think that process of pad printing, that type of weathering, scales up very well. It's not going to work very well in a fine scale FN F scale layout or FN3 layout or even O scale. HO is arguable. I still think there's decals, decals for our Canadian fellas that of weathering. It's okay. It's good actually. Better a lot of people do better than I could probably do right now.
So according to Your Naked 4, Blackstone is selling ghost lettered cars now.
I did that. I'm looking right now to see if I can find them.
Yeah, Michael Conley, like a weathering car wash.
Yeah. And who else did? Dave BNSF. He said mass production. I don't even call that mass production. That's mass destruction because it's not even good weathering. Come on, guys. I don't know about
But
you
if
guys,
it's mid-train, but if it's mid-train, does it really need to be master level weathering?
Oh, listen to this guy. It's like a. Okay.
I mean, I get master level weathering, on the front end or the back end, but in the middle, come on.
I can't tell that it's weathered unless the pictures they're showing are not weathered. Even the picture of the weathered car, I can't tell anything about it. I suppose it has a flat finish on it. Maybe. I'm not sure whether the camera would show this or not, but
Yeah, Eric, IMRRO, said MTL weather cars are not that bad. It does not hurt to splash them down with some clear flat, but some of them look real good.
Yeah. Well, when I do my clinics, that's the one thing I tell everybody that's there. If you get nothing out of this clinic, at least put a coat of dull coat on everything.
Yeah.
And it'll make it look 100% better than shiny plastic.
Oh, jeez.
they do sell some in weathered, and they are nice. Blackstone makes really nice looking stuff, no question about it. But I sure can't tell you anything about it being weathered.
I know I shouldn't do this. My Michael Conley. But someday the middle might be the beginning or the end.
I agree.
I've heard that argument before about detail parts.
Yeah.
Detail the first few cars, put AccuRails or blue boxes in the middle, detail the last few cars. If you have a display layout or a rail fending layout, that does make sense, but the argument about they end up different places in the car, if your layout is based on operations, your cars cannot be distinctly different. They're going to be shuffled completely about the layout. That's why I have the same standard for every piece of rolling stock. It's not a sophisticated standard. It's not ridiculous. Just a
But
couple
they can be distinctly different.
Well, they all should be distinctly different. They all just need to be to the same basic standard. I'll have some of these resin kits that are better, but they're not crazy much better. They're not the difference in an AccuRail and a Westerfeld, $150, resin car kit perfectly detailed with every part on it. There is a big discrepancy between AccuRail, whom I like, and who can be made into good cars, but by default they're not very good looking. Now, if you use AccuRails and you have a few nice cars in there, scale trades and stuff, exact rail stuff, that's not too bad. That works pretty well, but you've got to have a range. That's why I set my minimum's not that high, just separate grabs. If you've got separate grabs, I can stick a few little detail parts on them and they'll be perfectly fine mixed in with the finest cars out there. That's all you've got to buy. And that's not a big standard these days. And we need to do a show sometime on modifying the AccuRails, because you could shave I used to shave the grabs off all the time, but I always had to paint the suckers. If you've got a technique to replace grabs, not do too much damage, so that you can weather and cover up for having replaced the grabs. If that two-part process worked really well, then AccuRails should be a part of everybody's fleet. But the bolted-on grab irons, I cannot deal with that.
All right, Ralph, you're up to bat here. The Closet Branch. Say good evening. I'd like to ask a question. How do you weather sun-baked fading effect? I'd like to make my SP engine like a faded gray.
SP. Okay. Let me get a picture. What I do, the sun-baked gray is usually the result of a wash that I put on with an airbrush. And come on, where'd it go? I use 10% paint, and you're going to have to experiment, because if you don't use Tamiya paint, you cannot mix it with alcohol unless you experiment. I use 10% paint, 90% thinner, and I use an airbrush, and I spray it down at it at about a 60-degree angle or a 30-degree angle between there until basically it's the color I want. And you have to spray a little bit and stop and take a look at it, and then move on, try and do it again until you get it to the level that you want. Once you got the level that you're looking for, then it's a matter of just putting the dirt and grime on top of that, like that. Is this what you're talking about? Where'd he go? So that's my faded gray. It also fades the bloody nose and
Would you do the same thing on a Black Widow, SP Black Widow paint scheme?
You can do, yes. I've done it to Norfolk Southern.
Well, Works on NS. It should work on Black Widow for sure.
Let me find the Norfolk Southern. Come on.
Yeah, while you're doing that, Eric, I found that a color called Dark Flesh, I think is Badger. Thin it out a lot, and it looks like perfect grimy SP dirt.
Problem is, it's pink. So it depends on the locomotive that you're painting, and for me, it does. I have a little bit of the art background to know the difference, what colors to use with what. Not that I'm trying to push it, but the fact is, if you use the wrong color, it's not going to look right. What you want to try and do is change the hue of the color to bring it down to more of a pastel color. Depending on the color that you're working on, if you're doing it on a green Burlington Northern, then that 10% paint that you're using is still white, but you add a couple of drops of green, or pardon me, red to it. And if you're working on a red engine like Canadian Pacific, you put a couple of drops of green. And if you look at a color wheel, those colors are opposite each other on the color wheel. And that works with every other color, yellow, blue, whatever color you want to choose.
The closet branch, is it only achievable on an airbrush, what you were just showing?
Pretty much, because if you don't use the airbrush, you cannot get it as uniform. That was done the same way.
I could see that that flesh color working pretty good in for Arizona desert grime.
Yeah. You know,
If that's all you're putting on is grime, and the grime is only going to be from the numbers down, basically.
Tamiya should make a rattle can of a fade spray. There's so many modelers from all sorts that use Tamiya paint, so that would use something that was a rattle can that was 10 or 15, 20% paint.
Well, it's funny you should mention that. Not that Tamiya makes it, but if you go to an art supply store, a true art supply store, you can buy an aerosol can that you can actually put paint into to spray it. The aerosol's on the bottom, the bottle is on the top. You put your paint in the bottle, and the aerosol siphons it out.
Yeah, Home Depot had that for a little while because Vinny found that at Home Depot and was using it for a while.
If you can't find them there, go to an automotive paint supply store.
Yep, that's another one. That's where I first got mine.
Obviously, but how expensive to buy one of those?
It's not a one-time use. You can buy more canisters of air.
You can buy rechargers for them, and then I think the initial setup might be like $34 or something like that, but then like you can buy refills of the air for whatever, $7.99 or $10.99 or something like that, or whatever.
I don't know exactly what to search for to find that.
Yeah,
but the thing of those is man, you got to keep the tips clean on those things because they will clog and gum up and everything else in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
I mean, I had them at work or whatever. For stupid stuff, they were never really the greatest. But you can make your own color aerosol, yes.
Alrighty, well, we've reached the hour 12 mark. Dwight of North Star Rail Lines, of course, you could line up 12 locos and everyone will have a different fading color, look, and rust.
That's right.
Yep.
So when I do my weathering, I always use a prototype photograph. That's
Yep.
what I work from.
And Gary said that Testers has a canned airbrush kit.
That's not a bad arrangement. I could see that being pretty handy. That's just the first one I found. They might be available cheaper, but it's easy to find. Yeah, that's interesting.
Well, if anybody's interested, just before Christmas usually, Badger has a sale. If you're gonna do it, I would suggest that you get into an airbrush, and you can pick one up for close to $100, or you can go to Harbor Freight and pay just a little over $100 and get an airbrush and a compressor. I won't guarantee how long they'll last, but at least it'll get you into the market.
I didn't pay much for the compressor I have.
Well, you have a compressor for pneumatic tools, which is the same as what I use.
Right, and they're not that expensive. I mean, if I was on a special that come with a couple nail guns, I think the air compressor was 100, maybe $120. I bought it with a couple nail guns for like 150. You got a finish, a brad gun, and a finish gun. So for $1.50, it's Bosch Tech. I mean, it's not nothing. They're low end stuff, I'm sure, obviously, but I've had it for at least 5 or 6 years. I've built several things with it using air guns.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not perfect for spraying.
So
if you're gonna spend $100 on an airbrush, you might as well save your money and spend $129 and buy an iWatt. I mean,
well, yeah, okay, but the best brush for the money right now is the Badger 105, and it's just around $100.
That's not the one you have. That's real nice from them. A Renegade, is that what that's called?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that one. I haven't used it, obviously, but I really like the feature set on it. I think it's better than the Iwata I have, anyway.
I wouldn't say it's better than the Iwata.
Well, I just have the $130-ish Iwata bought with a 40-point off coupon at Hobby Lobby. So, what, $70, whatever, $75. And I've got, I bought a cheap one to start with, like $25, I think. iStart or something like that, knockoff brand. I'm sure. I think it was a Hobby Lobby cheap thing, but it's something like Harbor Freight would sell. And I use it more often than I use any of my other, because I don't really care if it gets screwed up. It was like $25. So
right, but the problem with this with a cheap brush is that you may not be able to get parts for it.
Right,
which means you're going to be spending that much money again to get another one.
I consider it disposable. Because I have the Iwata, and I've got 2 Badgers, but they're single actions. I got those first because Miles had a bunch of them from a clinic he put on. He was letting a bunch of us get them from him for dirt cheap. And I picked up a couple of those thinking that I could learn with a single action much better. Then maybe, if I ever got artistic enough, I could deal with a double action. I cannot paint with a single action very good. I can dye static grass with it. I can do stuff like that, but I can't paint with it. The double action, and I am far, far, far from artistic. I can paint adequately with.
Yeah. But I tell you what, for $100, I would find the Peche.
That's what I had many, many years ago when I was in the hobby last time. I had a little Peche. That's what we sold at the hobby shop. Probably Badger too, if I remember. Of course, I'd never heard of Iwata. At least I think maybe my dad had some, car sprayers made by them years ago.
Iwata didn't come on stronger until a lot later on, or whatever. But for hobby level or whatever, Peche was the way to go. It was $99.
Yes, a lot changed. When I left the hobby in 99-ish, 95, 96-ish, the hobby's a lot different now. When I came back in 15 or so.
Alrighty.
It all comes down to a matter of preference. That's it. Sorry, John.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Yeah. Kind of like computers. What are you going to use it for? How are you going to use it?
Yeah. There's different benefits. I work with every single one of them. I mean, from computer, Windows here, a Macintosh behind me, Linux on the little monitor running the Raspberries. I've got servers running Linux and Windows. There's benefits to it all. Use what works.
And if you buy a $300 airbrush, it's not going to make you a good airbrush artist either. So.
That's right.
What I would treat, I would have. That's why I think buying the $25 brush is a good start, because, and I wouldn't think this if I just looked at myself, because I bought an airbrush, and again, I'm far from artistic and love it. It's my single favorite thing to mess with in the hobby. If there's one single thing that I enjoy to play with more than anything else, it's the airbrush. My favorite tool, hands down, and I'm very, very, very far from artistic, and I totally didn't expect that to be the case. Robert, on the other hand, bought one and hasn't used it in 2 years, and maybe just about like once or twice or something. It just people. So I think it's a good idea to spend $25 and see if you like it. If you buy an airbrush, that's infinitely usable. I mean, I'm sorry, an air compressor. That's infinitely usable. You can use that for everything else around your layout, but I'd spend just a little on an airbrush and see if you like it. The moment you like it, then as soon as you like it, buy a good one, because they're a joy.
Alrighty, well, we got one more week left in this month. Don't forget, on the 25th, we've got Who's Big Bill talking to, and he's going to have Phil Wyman on the show. Phil hasn't been on.
I know one of those two guys.
Yeah. Phil hadn't been on for a while, so it's going to be interesting. He actually had to tear his layout down and because he moved. And he said tonight, now he's looking at putting it back up again. So he's going to be talking about that. Then October's turning out to be a little bit of a busy month, because October the 2nd. Yeah, October the 2nd, we got Who's Big Bill talking to. And that's going to be with Nick Massey and from Imagine That Laser Art. And then October the 8th is going to be the Bill Show. Then October 9th is going to be Who's Big Bill talking to with Lex Parker. And then October 16th is going to be Joe's Train Room. So don't forget, Tuesday and Wednesday nights are at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And all the Thursday shows are at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. And we appreciate everybody coming in on the chat. Appreciate everybody here on the panels too. Jason, Chris, Ralph, Andy. And don't forget, we do have nightly chats. That's on whereby.com/Mall Railroading Live, all one word. So if you want to come in and join us on a nightly chat, come right on in. We'll be glad to have you. So with that said, y'all have a good weekend. Be safe. We'll see you next Wednesday night for Who's Big Bill talking to. So
forgot to tell them, John. Huh? First time in, they have to bring the donuts.
Yeah, okay.
But if Bill tells us who he's talking to, then we know. So I think he should keep it more for a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all have a good one, and we'll see you next week on Wednesday night.
All right, Johnny.
Bye.